Hello everyone, welcome to Yes Guy Gaming. On this series, we talk about volleyball tips that I've accumulated from my years as a professional beach volleyball player, indoor player, and professional volleyball coach that I try to pass on to you to help you become a better volleyball player. Now, my goal with these videos is not to give you the basics and stuff you might hear from all sorts of other coaches and players, but it's to give you stuff you might not have thought about, some things you might want to try, some things you might want to think about to add to your game to help improve your game overall. Some of this stuff might work and jive really well. Some of it won't, and you can throw it right out. But hopefully these are some tips that can really help you improve your game. So today we're talking about setting, and I've accumulated kind of 3 tips to go through beach volleyball setting specifically. Setting is such a key thing to do in beach volleyball. If your partner's not in a good spot to attack, you're going to really struggle to score. It's one of the most underrated skills in beach volleyball, I believe, and can really take your game from mediocre to highly successful if you execute well. So the first tip has to do with location and where you set the ball. I think we all have a pretty good sense of where the ideal location to set the ball is, but that's not always possible, right? I mean, you try to land it somewhere perfectly, but it's not always going to go exactly there. But you can do some things to help give your team a chance to be more successful when you are a little bit off with the direction and location of your set. So specifically, obviously we have the perfect zone where we want to land the ball for our partner to attack. It's kind of near the net, but a little bit off, so they have angles. But then there's the zones further off the net from that and closer to the net from that. And when you're setting the ball to your partner, you want to think about trying to err towards the net rather than off the net. Now, some people might debate or argue about this. This is something I always brought into my game and asked my partners who were setting me to, if you're going to miss closer to the net. So be aggressive mentality with your sets, leading them towards the net. Obviously, you're trying to be perfect, but if you can't be perfect, if you got to be off by a foot here or there, lead it a little bit closer towards the net. Kind of keep that in your mind when you're setting. The reason for this, and a few reasons for this, if you drift the ball off the net and your partner's expecting a little bit closer, now your partner's not in control, not ready, kind of maybe they've come in and now they got to back up to attack, which is not going to make for a great attack. 2, it becomes a lot more difficult for your partner to score and attack aggressively when the ball is off the net. Even that little bit extra takes away a bunch of angles for your partner when trying to attack around the block, or gives the defender a lot more time to track a roll shot that maybe goes over top of the block. Another reason why we want to do this is to make sure that if we're going to give a bad set, right? So if I set it way off, way out, I'm missing completely. If I make a bad set but it's tight to the net, my partner still has a chance to go up there and make a play to score us a point, either with a joust, self-coverage, and you can recycle and play again, wiping off the block, things like that to score a point for your team, where if you miss the ball way off the net, you're often potentially giving a free ball, an easy roll shot that can be picked up, and you're not taking as much risk to score a point for your team. And because as you get better, you're going to need to be putting aggressive plays over the net every single time. And when the ball is closer to the net, you have a greater opportunity to do that, even if sometimes you might get blocked. The second tip is maybe a basic one, but one I see underused so much in beach volleyball, and that is to be aggressive. When you are setting the ball, you have to have an aggressive mentality of getting your partner towards the net into a position that they can score. And having that mentality from anywhere on the court will turn some of your mediocre sets into really good sets for your partner to hit. This is most important when your partner makes a dig. If they have to dive for a ball or make a hard-driven dig and the ball is off the net and they've had to work a little bit to keep the ball alive, you really need to be aggressive and get your partner onto the net so they can get up and score a point. Oftentimes I'll see new teams or kind of rookie teams make a fantastic dig because they're skilled, but then the set is off the net and they end up giving over a free ball or a basic roll shot. Whereas if the setter had just been a little bit more aggressive, gotten it much closer to the net, even if it's too tight, at least now you're making a joust, you're in making a play to score a point off that fantastic dig, rather than just give back over a free ball and have to make another dig or hope they make a mistake. The final tip is about kind of the trajectory that we want the ball to take when we're setting. And to summarize it briefly, we want the ball landing in the zone rather than going through the zone. So if you think about your partner's kind of hitting zone where they would be attacking the ball with their arm swing, kind of a block or a square of space near the net that they could attack from, you want the ball to be coming down into that zone so that your partner can kind of adjust if it's a little bit off, or have control over the ball to kind of time it and see the trajectory and where it's coming. What we don't want is the ball coming through the zone, kind of from a left to right or right to left trajectory, which makes it really difficult to time, line up for your partner, and often can result in mistakes that just don't need to happen. So to do that, you just need to maybe add a little bit of extra height to some of your sets. For example, if you're setting from off the net, rather than firing it towards the net and having it go through the zone with a low trajectory, add a ton of extra height, and that same distance will have it landing through the zone, giving your partner a lot better opportunity to go to work. Catch it up high, hit some angles, reach over top, that sort of thing. This also applies if you're ever trying to run any sort of out set or back set or kind of fancy set, which you see some teams do on the World Tour. This still applies. You can still run it a little bit faster, just means the set's lower, but the ball is still landing in the hitting zone rather than going through. We're not playing indoors here where you're firing a shoot. I mean, if you are, I think you maybe need to rethink what you're doing. We're playing beach volleyball here. Hopefully you're not getting blocked, but even if you're running those loopier sets and kind of pushing them out, you want it landing in the zone. So a little bit extra arc, a little bit extra height goes a long way. After all, you only have one blocker to keep moving, not a team of three. Well, all right, that'll do it for this episode, everybody. Hopefully you find it useful. Those are kind of 3 basic tips of mine to help take your setting to the next level. Hit me up in the comments below if you found that useful, some of your thoughts. Maybe you disagree. Those are 3 things that have definitely helped me in my setting, in my career, and certainly my partners seem to have appreciated it, but definitely hit me up if that's something that doesn't work for you. Does it work for you? Let me know. As well, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. We're starting this new series with volleyball tips, our last few videos, serving tips, passing tips. We're trying to go through all the skills and hopefully download all my knowledge I've accumulated over the years to help you guys become better volleyball and beach volleyball players. So hopefully it's something you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time on Yes Guy Gaming.